What up? It's your boy Sleep. Today we are going to a writing camp. I'm excited. Oh, fit check? Hold on. Fit check, got the docks, the bricks and wood, got the Carhartt, something light, but I love writing camps. Good writing camps. I hate bad writing camps. I'm gonna teach you the difference, and here is 7 things that you should know about writing camps and how they work. Gonna learn something today. Let's get it.
So I gotta get all my gear. I gotta grab, for sure the emotional support soundboard. Got the MPC ready to go. Got my computer, got extra batteries. Oh, look at this golden bookmark that I got from Army in Chicago at the meet and greet. Appreciate you, gang. Right now I am in like 5 different camps. This is the second of 5 between now and October, and I can't really talk about the next ones.
Well, there's the camp, and then there's the camp. I'm super excited for both of those. But in the meantime, in between time, today we are going to Amazon's campus, and I'm excited to see what that's like. So let's get to work.
Came through like 36 O's, mixing water, flame, pot, kitchen, soda, whip it, pivot, whip it. We don't be nothing alike. Next time they see me, I'm up in my price. Don't want no drama, I don't want advice. Say she like girls, but she suck in the night. I'm telling them once, I'm not telling them twice, and that felt like twice.
Oh, is that still the verse? My bad.
No, that's the hook.
Oh, okay. Was you gonna do it again, or?
Well, we don't have to if you could punch it. I mean, if you can slide it.
For sure.
What up, bro?
In the building.
Back at it.
Yes.
How you doing?
We definitely will. Exactly. I'm glad y'all so cool.
Amazon Music. Time for playback. You know the vibes.
Yeah. This one? We gotta wait for Nikki, I think. I got it. Oh, you got it. Alright. Going in there now? Yeah.
What up, Telly?
Yo,
What up, gang?
what up, bro?
Back at it. You already know.
Amazon.
Yep.
That shit looks so cool. What the
Alright. So what happened over here?
God damn, that's so fucking sick. That shit is wild.
Got a face tracker too.
God damn.
Oh yeah, I got 2 of them joints. The Osmo.
Now move left to right. It's gonna move with you.
Yeah. Love them joints.
Damn.
I shot a whole music video on
Stay
it.
on you now.
That's crazy.
It's still following you, bro.
Sleep did 48 beats in 15 minutes.
Mixed them all.
Yeah, mixed masters. The
Engineered
album's
today
done.
for some
Engineered, yeah.
For some reason, I feel that. I feel that, bro.
Bong bong boogie.
We up.
Clap it up. Yeah. Next song is called Work Something, and it's the same crew: Sleep, Skills, Nick Wayne, and Lyric.
Bitch, man, I like the floss. Broke cats, act flaw. Ball to ball, what it costs. All the girls, work something, keep it going. Work something, keep it going.
Alright, clap it up. Next one's called Keep My Cool. Same crew.
What's up, family? What's up, gang?
Shout out to Amazon. My boy Jeff. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna take it to come alive. Sleep content is crazy.
Thank you.
I looked at your Instagram. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Doing like a whole video. I love it.
Somebody should get a video of us, all of us in front of this Amazon sign, so I can send it to Jeff. Yeah. So I can send it to the homie Jeff. My boy Jeff Beasy.
Shake it like a little artist.
appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thanks,
You're just supposed
First one is the cardboard.
Y'all just come jump back over here in this video.
Hi. Hello, people of the interwebs. Hi, chat.
We not streaming right now. We out here, Empire Gang, up here at Amazon with the homie Jeff Beezy.
Not Jeff.
Slim gave you one of his rings.
Congratulations on the wedding.
Bring it all together.
How was your experience, Tim?
It was amazing. Being here with all the people. We created some really cool joints.
We made the intro to the new porn. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we did make the new intro to the new Pornhub.
This looks too good to ruin. I'm just saying. Let's make it usable. Let's make it usable. Okay. We out here. Yo, what is up? It's your boy Sleep D's, multi-platinum music producer, songwriter, music executive, and the reason why I'm leading with stats is because today I want to talk to you about writing camps. I know that this has been a very popular term that has probably fell across your lap as a fan of BTS in particular, or just as a fan of music. You see all these different things about writing camps, but the problem is you're getting a lot of information from people who are saying that they are industry insiders, and if you're not really working in the industry, well, where are you an industry insider at? And this is no diss to the reactor community. Much love to everybody that makes reaction videos. There's people that I watch some of their videos and I enjoy it and have a good time. But what I do is different. I'm not a reactor. I'm in the game. Like I'm an analyst. Like this is no different than when you see NBA players breaking down, the NBA playoffs and things like that. So when I'm talking about from actual experience. You can see, we got platinum plaques over here. We got Billboard #1 plaques over here. I produced My Time for BTS for JK. Co-produced that with my boy P Dog, and co-wrote the record as well. And yeah, I'm a working musician. Let's make that perfectly clear. And something about writing camps is really cool is that I am currently I'm signed up for 5 like major writing camps between, from July until I think the end of September, early October or something like that. So shouts out to my team, keeping me super busy with work, making music. Hopefully, got some dope big hits coming out next year, platinum records and all those good things like that. And, because everything I touch is platinum, it's the Midas touch. And so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to be working on music. And I'm in these writing camps. And so I wanted to break down some things that you should know as a fan, some things that you might want to know. But then also I wanted to break it down because I noticed that there's a lot of younger producers and songwriters that are starting to tap in with the content and see what's going on. And I want to guide you guys and kind of teach you some of the things that you should know. So this is 7 things that you should know about writing camps and how they operate, how they get down. And this is for if you have a little knowledge of writing camps, if you have a lot of knowledge of writing camps, or if you have absolutely no knowledge of writing camps. I'm going to break it down because I'm currently in a camp and I just finished one and I'm going to tell you all about it. So let's get to it. All right, first I want to get into the kind of love-hate relationship I have with writing camps and why I started the video off with that. I've been blessed and fortunate to be in really amazing camps. This Amazon camp that I just finished up was nothing short of amazing with Amazon and Empire. Matter of fact, every writing camp I've done with Empire has been fire. My team keeps putting me in really good positions and in positions to win, which is dope. With a writing camp, one of the main things that you want to have is you want to have a clear-cut agenda of what is actually going on. You have a record label, a publisher, or artists themselves are the ones that usually dictate and put together writing camps. I've also constructed writing camps before that were more for catalog building processes, and I've also constructed writing camps with, in conjunction with an artist or in conjunction with a specific publisher who is looking for specific records for artists. People throw around the term writing camp so loosely because it's a lot of times it's just a bunch of people getting together and writing and working on songs, which there's totally nothing wrong with that. That's part of it. Like I said, that's building catalog, continuing relationships. It's just a glorified way to say that you're gonna kind of like do a marathon of like sessions in a row with some people. A true writing camp, you have some kind of major or strong independent label, some staff involved, and you have some clear cut direction to create records for the artists that they actually want to put out. And there's really nothing better than that. I think one of my very first writing camps was with a label named FNC. This is my first. When I'm speaking first, I'm speaking of K-pop. My first K-pop writing camp was with the label called FNC. We were working on records for SF9 was a new group at the time. CN Blue was hot, and other acts on the label. It was a really dope setup. The way it was set up is we showed up. They played us a bunch of example records. Some big records that were already out. Some are more smaller, obscure records with the direction that they want to go in for their artists. The artists were in the studio sessions. They were kind of bouncing around from room to room. What they did was they split, one producer or two producers would team up and they would put us with like maybe two Korean writers, and that would be who we work with for the day. And our expectation would be make 2 song ideas today. So in Korea, they like to work early. We would show up to the studio 9, 10 a.m. We'd be done by 6 p.m. We all go out and eat dinner together. It'd be a dope vibe. And by the end of the week, if you have, 6 producers, 5 producers, whatever the case may be, making 2 songs a day in each room, you're going to end the week with 50, 60 songs, right? And on the business side, the label is usually either providing the hotel, the tickets, the food, the studio session that the studio that you're actually working in. These things are provided by the label, and because of that, they get first right of refusal on the records. So they get to collect all 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 records that you make, and they get to go back and dig into them and dictate which ones they want or which ones they want to be finished and continued on. And in that time, you can't take those records and go shop them to other labels. You have to wait. And usually I've done some where it's been like a 6-month right of refusal. It's been 12 months. One label wanted to do 18 months before, and I kind of felt like that was a little bit long, but I don't know. I can't remember if we did it or not, but that is a good writing camp. You have a clear cut agenda. You have a facility. You have food. Feed us. You know what I'm saying? Have some food going. Amazon did a great job of that. We had Air One every day. And yeah, those are the things. Like, you want to have an agenda. You want to know what you're working on. You want to have dope people there. Like, the people really make up what you need to have the elements of writing camp. And from that day on, I've been blessed to be in many, many, many great writing camps. And my first FNC writing camp landed me like 6 placements in that camp. I killed it. So it was a really great time, really great experience. That's a good writing camp. Now, what makes a bad writing camp? Overcrowded, no food, a whole bunch of egos in the room. There's a lot of things that can make a writing camp bad. You're putting a lot of talented people often in a space, and creative people need room to be able to be expressive. And this form of creation is like it's fast paced. Sometimes they're 2 to 3 days, all the way up to 5, 6, 7 days, and you are expected to deliver, and make as much dope music as you can in a short amount of time. And you are working with people that you have never worked with before a lot of the time. Like, it's round robin. The people who are putting the camps together, they might say like, okay, Sleep is really good at R&B. He did this dope record for JK, or he did this record for Eric Bellinger. Let's put him with this person that does this other thing that might be like, you might think is opposite of what I do, but they, in their mind, they think like, oh, these 2 minds coming together will make something great. And sometimes they get that wrong. They might pair you with somebody that maybe you don't really vibe with. Not necessarily on a personal level. I haven't really had any problems like that. I've had problems in writing camps where people were lazy, where people don't really come to really work, but then at the end when the song is done, they want to split everything evenly. And it is a bit of an expectation to kind of do even splits in a writing camp when you all put in the room together, because you're all given an agenda, and we all have an equal chance to land on the project. And the cool thing about that is it's like, okay, cool, like I might be doing something in that session that I don't normally do. Like this session, the last couple of days, I had to record the whole time. I engineered the sessions. That's one thing that I don't like to do in writing camps, especially. I don't like that. I like to be able to kind of to sit back and like write and think and produce and like and things like that. I don't like to actually record the vocalists. But we didn't have we had a couple of engineers, but they were spread out amongst the camp, and so I had to do what I had to do to deliver for my team. And we actually probably did more songs than everybody else, my team, and that was with me engineering. So yeah, you never know what the outcome is going to be. Some people are really, really, really slow. Writing camps are not really good for people who second guess themselves and go really, really slow. But yeah, these are the elements that make a camp bad. Overpacked. Everybody's fighting for the aux chord. Everybody wants to play their song, their song, their song. It's a lot of selfishness going on. Like these things can make a camp just a total waste of your time. So getting the right mix of people is very important to have a successful writing camp. All right, so for everybody that is wondering, that is new here, what is a writing camp? Let me explain to you what a writing camp actually is. A writing camp is basically like speed dating for song ideas. So you have a record label, a publisher, or the artists themselves. They organize a writing camp. You get an invitation. You get an invitation. They provide a facility, they provide food, and they provide a clear-cut agenda. The producers and writers get split into rooms, kind of like round robin style. Often you're working with people that you have never worked with before. They split you off into different rooms, and you have a brief. I have some briefs right here. And they send you in a room and say, go make 2 or 3 songs today. And tomorrow you come back and you do it all over again, but with a different partner usually. So they switch us up. Everybody's getting mixed and matched. And we have opportunities to play songs for the artists in real time as we're making them. An artist might walk into a room and you say like, hey, like, oh, this is fire. And the artist might say, hey, let me record that hook real quick. Let me jump in the booth. Let me knock this out. And when those things are happening, you have a much better chance of landing a song on that artist's album. So like the good writing camps, they're organized, they're targeted. This camp that I'm in right now, or that I just finished up, was really amazing. It was for Amazon. We worked on stuff for everything that you can think of that's Amazon related, from ad campaigns for major credit card brands to major car companies to TV series, video games, movies, the NFL, like all kinds of things. It was really, really, really dope, and had a great time. And we had really good food. They fed us Erewhon every day. I don't know if Empire or Amazon provided that, but shouts out to both, y'all. Yes, Erewhon's blueberry muffin is like the best thing I've ever had. So one thing I want to explain real quick too is, before maybe I do a part 2 to all of this to kind of break it into 2 different sections, but this camp that I'm in specifically is a sync camp. So this is for telling the story of brands, of movies, of different things like that, video games, NFL, all these different things. This is a situation where we are making music to score campaigns or to be licensed for film and TV, basically, which is great because these companies pay. For one, they pay fast, which is great, and we keep the rights to the song, so we can make songs. A song might get picked up for a TV show or a commercial campaign, and after a certain amount of time has passed, a year, whatever the case may be, we have all the rights to take the song and go license it somewhere else. It could be put on another TV show, or we can release it, or we can sell the song to an artist. We can do anything that we want with it because we retain ownership of the copyright when it is sync. Another thing that you should know about writing camps, especially if you want to participate in them or if you are curious about how they operate, is the brief. These things right here, they were printed out. They were in every one of my rooms, and this is just a couple of them. I got a whole... Goodness gracious, man. I got a whole stack of briefs. I got more upstairs, but these are for TV shows, for movies, for just everything going on that they wanted us to create music for. And like some of these things pay ridiculously well. Like there is a car campaign. I can't say the car campaign that I pitched for, and fingers crossed, y'all, I hope I get it, but the pay for that was $485,000. all-in fee for the sync for that. Brands like Apple and these other big companies like that, they pay a ton of money to put your songs in there. So as a musician, yes, I know that it sucks when we think about how Spotify doesn't pay us crap, tenths of a penny for per stream. But one thing that you should be doing is after you put your music out, you should be trying to figure out how to get your music synced and licensed in movies, campaigns, films, video games, all these different things, because they are paying serious bread to get your music out there. So I will, let me see which one of these briefs I can read. So this is for a series that is on Amazon as a coming of age comedy drama. I don't want to give out too many details, but basically, youth, and they are looking for genres. They're looking for UK drill, UK hip hop, Afrobeat, Afro swing, high life, dancehall, neo soul, all R&B, reggae remixes, pop, rap, dance, pop. The lyrics don't need to be specific, but themes along the following lines will be useful to give you an idea of the general vibes: ambition, dreaming big, self-determination, self-discipline, adrenaline, pressure. Jeopardy, competition, rivalry, self-discovery, identity, adventure, excitement, young love, friendship, and broken friendships. And then it says we will need to clear for the following media rights. All media not known or hereafter devised, including film festival screenings, premieres, promotional screenings, in-concert advertising, and promotional rights, but excluding theatrical exhibition in motion picture theaters, where a separate admission fee is charged, and excluding out-of-context advertising and promotional rights. The territory for this license and sync is worldwide, and the term is perpetuity. The budget, I can't get into what the budget is on here, but it is good money, and they say please always send clean versions of the songs along with original versions and also your instrumentals so they can, figure out where they want to put these songs at. So that is for a TV show, pretty popular TV show. There was another one that I have in here that is for the NFL, that one is really cool. There's another one that I have in here for another popular TV show, very well-known show. You guys all know the show. And then there was another one in here that was interesting I was working on too. That was for a comedy special for a very well-known comedian coming out in the fourth quarter on Amazon. And it is for the intro song and the credit roll song. And that also has a pretty nice budget as well. So this is what I mean about a writing camp being really dope. This one being sync focused. There's so many opportunities. And obviously, working the last few days at Amazon has been great, and I got to link up with so many people that also, we made really dope music together, but we can continue to work on this afterwards. The camp was meant to get us, to kickstart us, to get us involved, to meet the staff, to meet the people who work in the licensing department on Empire, which is my side, and on Amazon on the other side. So now I've built all those relationships, and I'm going to be sending music for the whole stack of briefs between now until they tell me stop sending us stuff, sleep, because it's a lot of good opportunities to get the music out there and to make music and to make money from the music. So I'm excited for that. So real quick before I move on to the next one, I want to give you some advice on how to determine whether or not a writing camp is worth your time. Clear outcomes, briefs, agenda. That is the main thing that I look for when I am being invited to these writing camps, because what happens sometimes, if it's a shitty camp, someone might say, like, they might invite me, but then if I say, yeah, I'll do it, then they're using my name to invite other people. Like, oh, yeah, we got Sleep, we got this person, you should come do our camp. And then they'll use you to get other people to come to their camp. So one of the first questions I ask is, what are we doing? What's the agenda? Like, what's the time frame for you want these records to come out? Like, what are we working towards? Efficient use of time and space. If there is no plan on how they're going to split you into rooms, if there's not enough rooms to accommodate the amount of people invited, that might be a waste of your time. If you are a little bit more, I'm like a little socially reserved at times. Like, I don't prefer to be in a room with 10, 11, 12 people trying to work on a record. It's just too much. It doesn't take that many people to bake a pie, to bake a cake. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't. So if it's going to be that kind of situation, that's not really my preference, because you have a lot of people that will be fighting to get their idea out. And it's just something I would stay away from, but to each his own. And a pro tip on that is sometimes the best camps are not the flashiest ones. This camp I was just in was very high level, very, very top notch from top to bottom, security badge, clearances, all these different things. Amazon, so you already know were on their campus. It took, well, it's very flashy. But some of the best ones are not the most flashy. If you have people who have a clear-cut agenda and they have space and they can make efficient use of the time and space and they have projects, do it. It's definitely worth your time. It could be a game changer for you. Another thing I want to throw in is these camps can change your career. You can get into a camp, you have an opportunity to collaborate with people who are working in the industry, working on major projects. And if you're likable and you're talented, you bring your A game, something that you work on, somebody else might take it to a whole nother level, your idea, or take it and go get it placed somewhere. And you just wake up and get a call one day and you're like, oh, wow, like, I'm on a Sabrina Carpenter record or something like that. So writing camps can completely change everything. Matter of fact, the writing camp that I did with FNC back in 2014, I think, 2014, 2015, something like that. I went and saw BTS's one of their first tours. And I mean, just kind of look at how that's all transpired. But they wouldn't have been on my radar if I didn't do that camp. Maybe, at some point I would have known who they were, but they were on my radar early. And some of my friends who worked at FNC, when they left FNC to go get a new job, guess where they went to go work at? They worked at Big Hit. So that's how that all kind of came through full circle. So writing camps can be a real game changer for you. So I definitely recommend them if you can get into them and get in there and make those connections and make those hits. I don't know what number this is. I don't know if I've hit 7 or not, but one thing I will say is camp and studio etiquette. It is something that you have to learn. You will learn it at some point if you want to be working in this business, and it is very important. The reason why I have this more of as an honorable mention is because, this is more for people who want to participate and learn and grow and get into this business. But don't be the person that's in there hogging the ox. Like, don't treat it like your one opportunity to where you feel like you got to play 20 or 30 of your songs. It's not that serious. Like, you will get an opportunity. Also, you have to learn how to read the room when you are in a writing camp. You have to do that when you are in studio sessions in general, but really when you're in writing camp, you have to. There was one time I was in a session, we had this girl in the session, and she had a melody idea. And the melody idea that she had, it was very like, it kind of had the vibe of like, like a Target commercial. Like, it was very like upbeat and it wasn't what we were looking for. And I was like, yo, that's a cool idea. I was like, you should actually voice memo that, what she did. You should voice memo that and save it, because we could probably do something else for that, because it kind of gives me like a Lizzo feel, like the melody you have, but that's not what we're looking for this. We need something that's a little bit more like rappy. That's what we were looking for at the time. And while me and the other writers in the room were coming up with other ideas, she is on the couch and she just keeps on humming the melody and keeps asking us, like, maybe we should just try it. Maybe we should just try it. And I'm like, yo, like, everybody else is trying to think past that now, and you are handcuffing us because you keep on singing this melody from earlier that we've all already kind of like outvoted you, that we should move on and try to get another melody that is stronger than this one that you keep on trying to force down our throats. So you got to know how to read the room. You got to know, like, best idea wins out. It's not an ego thing. It is just, we are here to try to win, and we all need to agree on what we think the best song is, or the best idea for the song. So I would say that the biggest skill in a camp might be reading the room. It might be self-awareness more than anything else, because they say, you've heard the saying before where they say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I understand that, and I agree to a degree. I still think skills pay the bills. Talent is number one. But also being likable is super underrated. Think about it. Like, making music it can be a bit of an intimate process. And if people have a bad experience working with you in the studio, when they get the next call for the next thing down the line, it doesn't even matter how good the song came out. They're not going to think of you and say, oh, we made a good song, but I had a terrible time. Now this new thing that just came in that has a huge budget, let me call this person who I had a terrible time arguing with in the studio. No, they want to call the person that they were laughing with, that they had a good vibe that they just had a great time working with. And I think that that's why I get so much repeat business, is because I know how to read the room. I don't rub people the wrong way, and I'm here to show up and do whatever job is necessary for me to do that day. Like I said, the last 2 days, my back is literally sore right now because the first day I didn't like the chair that I had, and I had to engineer. I didn't anticipate engineering, and I was sitting there engineering the whole day, and I did it. I engineered like 12 song ideas, and we made some heat that day. Like, we did a lot of dope stuff that day. And just be likable, especially if you're talented. Like, if you're talented, even more so be likable. And if you are not that talented, then you absolutely have to be likable. You have to lean on being likable. Don't be narcissistic, don't be ego driven, and don't make it all about you. Be there to contribute to the team, and you will go far. Another thing is, time is money, and these camps are expensive. It's expensive to feed all these people. It's expensive to have all this space booked out and all these things like that. Don't get in there playing, don't get in there wasting people's time. Don't be in there on TikTok and YouTube the whole time when you should be, unless you're watching me on YouTube, but no, I'm joking. But just make sure that you get in there and you do your job. And also ask for permission to film. That goes back into etiquette as well. Like, don't just walk up and put cameras in people's faces. I know this is the world that we live in. Everything is content driven, but just make sure it's cool. Like, everybody is not cool with having their song that they're working on being blasted over social media. So make sure those things are cool. Don't walk around filming people from weird, crazy angles when they don't know that they're being filmed. Just, learn how to be a vibe in the room. And if you respect people's time, you will always get invited back. Just have good energy, be on time, and show up and be prepared to win. One thing about camps is they are meant to give you opportunities to land records, but not every camp leads to placements. But every camp that I've been in has led to future collaborations with somebody that I met in the camp, because it's like speed dating. Like I said, you're meeting people who you might know of because you might know a song that they did. You might have mutual friends on social media, so you've seen them before with some of your other friends, and you work together once, and you might have a good experience doing it. And I would advise you to keep doing it. It's not, don't be so hyper focused on like, oh, we didn't get a win. Just be focused on like, oh, who did you click with? Who did you have a good time working with? And I would suggest to continue working with people that you meet in these camps. This next one is, I wouldn't say it's controversial. I would just say that there are people that I think will disagree with me. But I think that the brief is your North Star. I've been fortunate enough to work with people who actually do a really good job writing briefs. I've seen some really shitty briefs before too. Don't get me wrong. But you know the difference. I can tell when a brief has had some thought given to it and when a brief has not had a lot of thought given to it. But at the end of the day, it's advantageous for the person that is creating the brief to try to make the brief as close to what they want as possible, because these are the people that have to listen to the songs that you turn back in, right? So if they make a terrible brief and you're making music based off of the terrible brief, well, that person is going to be sitting there frustrated because they're getting all these submissions in that don't match what they want. So I personally try to treat the brief as a North Star, and it's something to really lock in and hone in on. And mostly, when I'm reading these briefs, I'm trying to understand, like, maybe not so much with the sync, but when I'm doing writing camps for artists, I am trying to understand what it is that they're actually asking for, because they might say like, oh, I want a song like, Love on Top by Beyonce, right? Just use that for an example. And if they want a song like that, it's like, okay, what do you actually mean? And then that's when you have to focus in on the brief and see what they mean. Like, is it tempo? Is it genre, like chord wise? Is it the energy of the record? Like, which part of this are they pulling for? And if you could read it, they usually give you like 2 or 3 different examples. And if you can find the common denominator between all the examples that they give you, I think that gives you a better chance of nailing something in the direction of what they want. I've worked with people before who absolutely just just don't pay attention to the brief at all. They're like, oh, forget the brief. And then they end up with a song. It might work out for them every now and then, but I think that the chance and the likelihood of something landing when you are not focused and paying attention to the brief is pretty low. So I treat the brief like a North Star. If I'm trying to figure out what to do, I'm trying to read in between the lines and understand what it is that these people took their time to write, because these briefs that I got from Amazon are so well organized and well thought out that I know for sure that I need to follow this. And that doesn't mean be a robot. It just means pay attention to what they're asking for and deliver that. So I want to talk about some of the different archetypes of people that you see in camps. So every camp, like, you might have like the loop guy. Like, he's the guy that might not be the best at producing a full record, but he's the guy that has all these starters. So a loop is like a musical composition. It might contain, 4 or 5 elements, sometimes more. It's been processed, they've added effects, and it's just like, it might be a 1-minute loop of music, and you can kind of take which part you want. You can add drums to it, you add your own music, and then you end up writing a song to that. The loop guys, being a loop guy in a camp can be pretty beneficial for you, I'm not gonna lie, because a lot of the loop guys, the way they operate is they're trying to drop loops off in every single room. So that gives them a chance at walking out of the camp, maybe with not a huge percentage, but a chunk of multiple records that get landed, because they're providing the sound bed that a song starts to get written to. Then you got the speed runners. You got the 10 to 20 minute beat builder guys. I've been both of those guys. I can produce a track really, really fast. I can also make loops if I need to. These guys, they like to just run through ideas. I would say sometimes with that, they're not really catered towards like following the brief, and it tends to be a very, very repetitive style of music to a degree. But yeah, anyways, I don't want to get too deep in that, but just going through the archetypes of the kind of people that you have in sessions. And then you have like the vocal arranger guy, who's like, I kind of produce, I also kind of write, but he might be a really good vocalist. He's really good at backgrounds and harmonies, he or she. And they end up getting, high use rate in camps, because the agenda is to get these songs done, and they have the ability to kind of like have the foresight on how to arrange vocals for a record. Great, very necessary. Then you got like, the silent assassin. Like, this is the quiet person that is just kind of chilling. Like I said, I've been to all these people in camps before. It's like the quiet person that might be one of their first or second camps, and they might be unassuming, and they might be just kind of quiet and chill, and then their turn to press play, and then they just play some absolute fire. And this is one of my favorite parts about camps, is just seeing like all these different energies of people come together to try to create something. And the thing I like about it is because I've been making beats for so long that like I know how I'm going to finish a song most of the time. But the thing about that is, okay, if I get a song to a certain spot, let me pass it off to this guy or this girl and let them, do it how they envision it. And then we end up with something that I would have never done, maybe something they would have never done, and then it might turn into like an amazing record that the world has never heard before. So you gotta walk into these camps super open and ready to just forget some of the things that you've learned, and be willing to just kind of just let all these energies get in this pot, and then you just mix it up and just make this nice pot of gumbo, and hopefully it turns into a hit record. And lastly, I would say, just because a song gets recorded, even if the artists are there and they record it in the writing camp, there's no guarantee that it's going to make the album. And even if your song doesn't get any love during the camp, it doesn't mean that when the artists go back to their layer and they're going through the records, that your record might not jump out. Music is based off of feeling and emotion a lot of the time, and sometimes the artist might not be in that headspace that day to receive the record that you delivered. So don't look at it as an overnight placement kind of thing. Just look at it as an opportunity to grow and an opportunity to collaborate with a lot more dope people. And you just never know where your song is going to end up. There's been so many times I started off making a song for a specific thing, and then it ends up going way over here and becoming even bigger than I ever imagined. So just be open to all the possibilities, because you never know what could happen. And I think that's it. I think that is it. There was something else I wanted to tell y'all though. Oh, one more thing that I want to say. This is for up and coming producers and songwriters as well. When you are in these writing camps, don't just try to create records for the playback to impress all the other producers and writers there. It is fun. When you have a playback, it's fun to listen and vibe off everybody's record. But remember that you are there to try to make a good song, not just a good beat or a good idea of a song. Like, you're there to make a song. So don't forget that. I know a lot of times in some of my earlier camps, we go do the playback, and the way that I produce, I don't think that I produce in the flashiest way. I think that my style of production is very open. I'm trying to, because as me being someone that also writes lyrics and writes melodies, I'm always thinking of the space that the artist is going to need. So I'm trying to leave the canvas like open, but I'm using such high quality ingredients that I feel like my style of production can get overlooked in those environments when you're doing the playback for everybody else in the room, because everybody's so focused on trying to make the best beat of all time, and you might add 30 sounds to this beat because you're trying to get a reaction, you're trying to get that respect from your peers, and I get it, and it makes total sense. But at the end of the day, you got to remember that you are there to make a hit song. You're there to make a good song, and you're there to try to get songs on these albums, hopefully get the title track or whatever the case may be. And that's what you got to stay focused on, keeping the main thing the main thing. How do I think that these BTS camps are going to work? I'm pretty sure that they will work in a way where the guys will be involved. They'll talk about the things that they want from the producers and writers there. They'll talk about ideas. The producers and writers will have, someone come in with pre-made tracks that they worked on, loops, different things like that. They'll be split into different rooms, and I think that the guys will just bounce around from room to room and be involved in the creative process, because these guys also produce and they also write as well, which is, when you have artists that do that, it makes our job easier. Some people, it might make them very nervous, but for me and like seasoned producers, it makes it even more fun to have the person that has to go out on the road and go shoot music videos and do radio promo and all these different things to these songs. It is so fire to have them involved in the creative process, from the producing and the writing side of it and all those things like that. So I imagine that when these camps start, that will be pretty much how it goes. You have your set number of producers who are invited. You have your writers invited, probably handpicked by a mixture of the staff and the guys themselves, probably leaning heavily on who the guys want to work with. And you get everybody into the room, you split people into multiple rooms, and then you have like round robin, everybody's just bouncing around. You might have one guy in one room cutting a record, you might have another guy cutting a record, you might say, oh, this would be dope, let me go grab, Jim in for this, and then let me go grab J-Hope for this, and people just kind of running around room to room. It's a high that, I haven't found many other places as far as like forms of creativity goes, and it's something that I absolutely love. I'm absolutely excited and blessed to be a part of all these writing camps, and we have 2 down, we have 3 more to go, and it's just like the stakes get higher each one. And so yeah, I'm super excited to get in the studio and just try to do my best, man. That's all I can do, and hopefully all this work I'm putting in during these camps lead to a very successful rest of 2025 and an incredible just rocket launch of a year for 2026. And it's gonna be dope because you guys seen it all happening, from the briefs to the IRL streaming of me in these sessions, and you're seeing it all come to life in real time. So I'm excited. It was supposed to be 7 things that you should know about writing camps and how writing camps work. I know it got a little long-winded. If you made it all the way to the end, much love to you. If you did not, then why am I even talking to you? Because you won't see this. But I hope this information was helpful. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed checking out Amazon's beautiful campus on the little bit that I could show. And I'll see you back for the next one. Let me know if you want to do a part 2, because this camp is quite different from how K-pop camps work. Just specific elements, and I can break it down a little bit more. And man, follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. tap in with me on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, go subscribe on Twitch, go subscribe to the Patreon because, you know, quiet is kept. That's where people are able to see the real behind the scenes is what I'm saying. So this is for the Patronis. Patronis eat first, and I will see you on Twitch this weekend. So